Wow, that actually went pretty smooth considering what's been happening lately. So I am going to begin by, I'm going to drop this away. Get ready with my subject file. Okay. First, subject. And the reason you see me on a different channel, still the same platform, StreamYard, I was hacked again. So usually the culprits have been identified, not individually, but as a certain group. And they are a cryptocurrency folks from God knows where in the world. And they search for accounts that they can hack. And the way they do that, and it doesn't really matter how careful you are with your security, especially if you have Gmail, which is what they want to hack, Gmail accounts. They will look for an account that is linked to a video channel. It has to be. And so a YouTube channel. And so what they do is they first, somehow they delete your two-way verification. That's the one that we normally use to, if you need to install something that requires your password for your Gmail account or your Google account, they will ask you, hey, we're going to send you a code. Please paste it here, and so on. Well, they disabled that. So the secondary phone that they then enter is not yours. So now you're screwed. You cannot use two-way verification anymore. And then, you try. No matter how many times you attempt, you always get the same result. Try this different thing and you click on it. Nothing works because you're going around in circles. It's like a catch-22. No matter, you need to do this, but in order to do this, you need to have that. But you don't have that anymore. You see what I mean? So obviously, Google does not have, a tech support that you can just call and talk to. So do I really need to create a new Google account? I should just delete mine. It is the one that was linked to my video channel, my main video channel. Now, I could either delete it and then I can somehow create a new one, obviously, contact YouTube. There is a way to sort of talk to them. I've done it on chat, on text here. They fixed me the last time this happened. And so I'm going to have to talk, or not talk to them, but chat with them maybe tomorrow. I need to, first of all, learn how to connect with them again, because it's been a while. And so they will then allow me to link my existing channel, which, by the way, does not exist anymore. It's not deleted. It's just disabled because they must have caught on to the fact that it was a crypto group hijacking my channel again.
And they go through these steps. They need to first hijack your Gmail account. Then if you have, like me, a channel with sufficient number of subscribers, in other words, a broad enough reach, they will then choose you and hack you. And the last time that happened, they didn't really, YouTube wasn't aware of what was going on because there were so many videos on YouTube about their channels being hacked. But I guess now they are. So somebody on my Facebook group just told me this morning that he had gotten a message. In other words, you know how you click the bell for notifications? He got notified about a crypto. It should have been a notification about one of my videos had I uploaded one. But no, it was a crypto video. And I immediately went to check. Lo and behold, my channel has been disabled, which is good. My wife made me a delicious lunch. There we go. And I had a piece of fiber hooked up to my tooth. Anyway, I have options. Oh, by the way, I needed to check to make sure that I am actually online and broadcasting to make sure that you guys are not missing out. So this channel is my family channel. This is what my wife and I use. We are hooked up to it on our TV and we watch videos, all kinds of stupid stuff and shows and things like that. So this is just for test purposes. If I cannot restore my original channel, God, sorry. This is embarrassing. I should have brushed my teeth before I came down. If I cannot do that, I will go ahead and create a new channel. I have like 4 years worth of videos that I have uploaded in these drives. Now, if I have to create a new channel and start from fresh, which really doesn't bother me that much because the channel hasn't been making any money anyway. I gotta get this out. There you go. I got it. It had a lot of celery in it. So that's what happens. Anyway, so it really, at this point, doesn't really bother me that much that I would have to re-upload a bunch of stuff. So I will create a new channel and start uploading from the earliest to the newest. And I would beg everybody to please start viewing because I have to reach a certain number of what they call view hours and a certain number of subscribers. And I had almost 69,000 subscribers just the other day when I was able to access my channel. But anyway, what can you say? Now, if YouTube can do this for me, they disable the channel, I would have to create a new account, a new Gmail account, or Google account, let's just say, and then have them, they still have my channel. They did not delete it. They just disabled it and then link it to that new email or Gmail account. And Gmail and Google is the same thing. Google account, that's your Gmail account. So, I mean, if that works, then they can restore my channel because it's right now it's just sitting there dormant. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and upload this. This is uploading right now as we speak, and they are going to then, process it as a video. You can watch it later. The chat is working, so please join us. We got 23 on board. As always, join us on the chat. Tell us who you are, where you're watching from, what printers are you using, if any yet. If you are using printers, tell us how you are doing. How's everything going? And we'll get going. We'll get going normally. I will be dealing with this stuff tomorrow, so don't worry about me. Hopefully, Mike Cheney has a couple of links that he provided me last time to be able to get on a live chat with some of the YouTube people. All I need right now, I don't care about my Gmail channel, my Gmail account, because that was just basically junk. My Yahoo is the one that I use personally most of the time, and that is not connected to a YouTube account. So they never bother with that. They only bother with Gmail. So they want to grab your Gmail account if it's attached to a video channel that's making money and also has a lot of reach, then they will hack you. And there's really nothing much you can do about it. So what I need to do is create a new account, have YouTube link my existing disabled channel to that new account, and we'll be back on board. And if that happens this week, I will not have to upload all of those videos daily, one after the other. And hopefully, maybe I'll just do a few a day. If I really have to do, go that route, I will do a few a day. And that way, I'm not going to overwhelm people. And again, I'm begging you guys to view, to subscribe. Already in my family video channel, I have 6 subscribers, which is really amazing. My wife sort of chuckled. She thought it was cute. Anyway, all right. So let's get going. Let me show you. Remember my Strathmore linen paper? Okay. Really good stuff. I printed one of my AI generated photos. I bought some of these little 9x12 frames. They're like, you get like 6 for like $19. And here it is. Whoop, upside down. There you go. And it came out beautiful. And it's got that beautiful linen texture on it. I got the title, my name, and the date. And yeah, this will hang like this. Fits perfectly in there, and it is just lovely. The dynamic range that you can get on the 8550, and that's using a VFA ICC profile that I created for this paper. I will put that on my Facebook group, and you guys can definitely access it. Before I show you anything else, let's say hello to those who were brave enough to join us today. Like I said, please join the chat. Tell us who you are, where you're watching from, and what you are working on. What is it that you own, that you're utilizing for your printing adventure? So at 6:09 this morning, this gentleman was on, Salve 477. Now, I think you may have been here last time. I don't remember, but yeah. Wait a minute. It's another post for him. What happened to the old channel and all your content with Precisioncolors Inc.? Yeah, I just told you. Yeah, don't worry. Don't worry. The best thing that can happen is that they will, once I create a new Gmail account or new Google account, they'll have me link that new account with the channel that it is disabled right now. It's not gone, it's just disabled. And I should be able to. The reason is I think they caught on to what these hackers were doing. So if a channel was being unauthorized, being used for promoting cryptocurrency and whatever other, hack they're promoting out there, they disable the channel. So the channel is not gone, it's just disabled. It cannot be accessed. They turned it off, in other words. Nigel Waters, UK. Wales, UK, Canon Pro-300 OLED trimmings. Welcome back, my friend. I was worried about you not catching on to this, but I don't know whether you got the link from the post that I did on Facebook or not. I'm not sure whether you're a member of the group, but I was worried that you would not get the information. Slowly, we'll get back to normal, I believe. Welcome again. Ron K. from Trenton, New Jersey. Epson EcoTank 8550. I love that picture. QMH Ultimate Lifetime, Canon R5 and Canon 7D, sorry. And all you guys were on early. 628, 729, 752. Awesome. Feslope is here. Fred Elias, Warren, Michigan. Good morning, Jose. Epson EcoTank 8550, Oya Minx, Red River Papers, personal use. Friends love me, and I get invited to a lot of parties. Yeah, especially if you take a camera and you give people free photos. People are just too used to the phone photos. Give them real prints. They'll love you. They will love you. Dimitris Demos from Athens, Greece. I saw a message from an upcoming live about crypto earlier, and I knew something was wrong. I hope you get that mess soon. Can any of you reach my old channel? Try it and see what you get. Try it and see what you get. And if you're able to do that, if you have another device, try to find me and see what it is that you get. I cannot do it from here. Richard Bender from Hagerstown, Maryland. EcoTank 8550, Nikon D300, QMH Ultimate, Epson 4180 scanner, and HDR photography. I am so sad that I will not be able to meet you on Tuesday at the fair. Again, at that time, we'll be doing PT with my wife, and then she's not going to be in shape to go anywhere after that. So we usually just come straight home. We'll be going Wednesday with the boy, with Nathan. Harold Goldberg, warm and sunny Richmond Pro-100, all the trimmings, Sony 877 and an 865. My other daughter, Judy Ann. Good afternoon, morning here in Washington State. Hope all is well with you. Well, as far as anything else, everything is well except for the issues with the channel. Canon Pro-200, Nikon, Fuji film cameras. Looking forward to another great printing lesson. Harold Davies is here from La Crosse, Wisconsin. Canon Pro-1100, 2100 PCSEQ image. And let me see. I think I got them over here. We're going to be doing these hopefully today. I got the other two right here. So you're going to get a total of 16 each. I think that's going to be 6, 3, 3, 9. 9 and 9 is 18. 18 each. And I have some leftovers from before. And I also made, early on, I made some on real aluminum, the thicker stuff. I can send you the whole pack. And I have a surprise for you as well. Now I'm going to show it off today. Don't worry. Yeah, that's definitely a good way, and I did use it on this particular picture you sent me. And by the way, I used the more contrasty one. I loved it. Steve says, this is Steve from Germantown. He actually bought my R2000. I'm glad that it's still working. He says he's still using the R2000 for a time being, but will be buying an Epson 8550 in the fall. Great choice. By the way, can you fix printers? I have like 5 printers I'm going to take to the dump, and I'd be very happy to give them to you. 85, 8800, 3800, 3880, R3000. What else do I have? A couple others. Oh, 2 Pro ones that I don't want to deal with. But, you know, it's either give them to someone that can do something with, or take them, have them be picked up by the refuse people, the recycling center. They will come to your house and pick it up. I was going to take Nathan, but you have to be 14 to get in. And he's not quite 14. He could lie, of course, but that would not be good. Dimitri says, in the previous live, we were talking with a guy about replacing the pump cup assembly from old Epson plotters. I can't recall his name. I installed a non-OEM from Stod, and it works great if you are here. If you are here. Okay. I'm glad. Sometimes when you buy, like a non-OEM part, it's money spent and maybe, badly spent. It depends. It depends. Bob says, I just got a Canon 1100 printer. What are the benefits of using the Q software versus Canon PPL? Canon PPL is just a very basic, print layout tool. It allows you to work directly, I think, from the actual software or is it a plugin through Photoshop that you have to use? I just use QImage. I've been using QImage since the turn of the century. It's been over 20 years, well over 20 years. And for me, it's just that slightly better, almost discernible. You can discern the difference between the two. And of course, being old and forgetful like me, it does everything for you. It remembers everything you did. So no matter how, as long as your images remain in the same location, it remembers everything and it will allow you to recall whatever and that's just one of the things. You can save jobs like the one that I just did. Where's my hand? Right there. For my friend, Mr. Davies. I can recall that later. If he needs more business cards, I can just find that job and recall it. You can't do that with, And so for me, it's just a matter of certain features that they're just too good to pass up. Sharpening algorithms, up-resing algorithms. I have printed stuff 13 by 19 that should not be allowed to print more than 3 by maybe 5. Okay, as far as pixel resolution, it does an amazing job. I know there's other tools out there, but they do cost some money. QImage is not that expensive. And if you happen to be interested, I have on my video descriptions a link. It'll be just this one video. I will have them on there, and you can get a 10% discount. And if you buy QImage during one of their sales, you get double discount. So for me, it's just something that I just have to own. Once I have it, it's a little bit difficult to get used to because the interface is different than other tools that you may be very accustomed to. Okay. To me, PPL, I never really got used to PPL. That's because I had QImage with me. Emmanuel from Normandy, France, EcoTank 8550, QImage 1, Apple, and Color Monkey. Bob Dale says, Bob from Minnesota. Steve, I just subscribed to this current channel thinking this will be your new channel going forward. I'll wait to see which channel you're going forward and resubscribe if needed. Well, I already have this channel. Again, I can just stick with this channel. Hopefully it won't get hacked. Okay. 5 years from now, if I'm still doing this. So don't worry about it. Just subscribe to it. I have a long way to go to reach a certain level where they'll even consider monetizing me. But we'll see. Just stay with me for now. Yeah, I appreciate that, though. I saw that. Also, how can the hackers get into your account if they didn't have your text number to authenticate it in the first place? They get it. They do. They can do that. That would be the only way they could get in and turn it off. Yeah, they didn't turn it off. They used it for their own purposes. YouTube turned it off. The channel, that is. I still got something in my tooth. They start by getting into your two-way authentication or whatever they call it. And they disable that somehow. Don't ask me how. Then they have their number attached, and all you see is the last two numbers out of the whole phone number. So If you try re-authenticate through that number, it's just going to reach their number, and they're going to be laughing at you. What happens is you open your Gmail and you see maybe a dozen warnings from Google that something's happening, something's happening, something's happening. Then when you go to try to fix it and you attempt to fix it, that's it, you're screwed. They're very smart. They are very smart. They get around they have tricks that can get around anything that Google has established. Although there are some very high level, like fingerprint and things like that, I think I will attempt to install on my phone once I get a new account. But anyway, yeah, it's terrible. And once they do that, they search to see whose account has a video channel, because that's what they're ultimately after, the video channel. And if it's a video channel like the one that I currently have, that is not monetized, it has to be monetized because they want to generate funds. The last time this happened, YouTube wasn't aware of what was going on, so they had a period of time, and they generated over $2,000 worth of income off of their crap on my video channel. YouTube gave me that money. Okay, so I was awarded that money, which was good. But this time YouTube just disabled the channel completely. So those crooks cannot use my channel. My channel is just in limbo. It's not gone. It's just disabled. They turned it off. So I need a new Gmail account that you link to the channel. And I need to do that through YouTube. Peter Vanderstock, watching from Belgium. Oh, nice. I wish you success with the recovery of your channel. I had the pleasure of living 3 years in Belgium. My youngest son is a Belgian American, so he is dual citizenship. I was with the Supreme Headquarters, Allied Powers Europe, or SHAPE, in what is it, Mézières. It's a small village, and then the base is right there, near Mons, Mons, which is a larger town. That's where we would go and go to eat at restaurants and things like that. Wonderful, wonderful time. I lived outside in, where did I live? Oh, gosh. No, I don't remember. I'll remember later. But anyway, I had a great time there. Beautiful, beautiful country. Barbara Harris, good morning. She's watching. She came on at 12:21. Good morning, EPSON 2880. Wow, you got a 2880. Excellent. That's a really good printer. 8550. It's old, but very, very good. It had some of the best quality output. The droplet size was minuscule, so it could generate beautiful detail in beautiful gradations. And it didn't have a stupid black ink switch valve. You still simply switch your black ink cartridge depending on the media that you were using at the time. Love that printer. I still have it, but I think it's okay. I need to unclog it and probably buy some. I would love to revive it. Buy some cartridges, refillable cartridges, and just use normal available ink. I still have OEM inks that I can use for it. I can reload those cartridges with. MPF Photo, Nick Marmolejo, Deer Valley, Arizona. Epson Stylus Pro 3800 Pisography. Pro Inks. Pisography, for those who may not know, is an old black and gray inkset. They calibrate the grays to correspond with the level, the density of, say, yellow, magenta, cyan, photo magenta, photo cyan, and so forth, would be if it was gray, if it was decolorized. He's got an Epson XP15000 chipless, of course, PCSE inks, Kimage Ultimate Lifetime, 0-in-1, Photo Raw Max. I have 0-in-1 as well. Sony Alpha 6000 and 16 255 millimeter kit lens. And he's got he's loaded. He's got a 4x5 Schneider with a Wisner Technical 4x5, Schneider 75mm, Super Angulon. Wow, 120. So you're serious. Okay. You are serious. Ron K, I don't know if the hack will affect your Amazon affiliate link. It's fine. I think it's fine. I will not use it until you sort out the details. Well, you know what? I can check right now. Let me get into my list of files that I have. Video descriptions. I will find that link and I will link it to my browser. If I can find it, here we go. They actually sent me a small check the other day, which was unexpected. I'm glad I got it. So again, it's working. Let me show you what that looks like when you first click on it. So you'll get this and you'll go like, what the heck? Who is that woman? Well, just click on that. Don't worry about it. Just click on that. See all 290 items. Click on that and then just go through everything here. This is stuff that is related to printing and 3D printing and all sorts of different things, drones, everything. And if you don't want any of this, it doesn't matter. Once you're in, once you are in, you can just search and find whatever. Strathmore acrylic 9x10 paper. Boom, click on that and order it. And I will get a cut, which helps because the video channel at this point is earning $0. Okay. So if you're an Amazon shopper, just use my link. It takes a gram of effort to do that. So I was going to say an ounce. An ounce is too much effort. But yeah, just use the link. And then it's listed on my video descriptions about 3/4 of the way down. And once you're in, then if you don't want to look what's behind that girl, just go ahead and search. Buy whatever you want to buy. It doesn't have to be related to anything we are doing with printers. It could be anything. And they will accrue a certain percentage. It's very low. And then after you reach a certain level, I think it's like every 2 months, they will send you a check. I only get one like every 3 or 4 months. So, and it's like for $80, $90 most of the time. Payment Nabati from Toronto, Canada. Sorry to hear you were hacked. I'm printing on 8550 XP970, both converted to sublimation using Acro RIP. The result is much better than Windows driver printing. Really, in which way? What is better about it using a RIP when you're printing sublimation? I don't think I know of anyone that's using a RIP for sublimation printing. But you let me know. Let me know here if you're able to. Steve, I might be interested in fixing some of your printers depending on the complexity. Yeah, the two big ones is a issue with the black ink switch valve. If you're really good, surgically good, you can get in, open up the print head cover, get into the system of dampers, and in there is that black, what would be the black damper, and it's got a switch valve. Normally, unfortunately, what happens is a servo situation. Either it's mechanically stuck and then just needs to be soaked and cleaned and unstuck, or you replace it. Now you can find the units on eBay. I'm just not mechanically good at it. Okay. The Pro ones, on the other hand, I'm just going to dump them because you need new print heads on it, and they're just simply not available. So, but I would love if you would like to take on the 3880s, and I have a few cartridges left that are still full that I will just give you for free. If you just pop by, and I can help you with my backpack, carry them upstairs. But other than that, yeah, they might still be able to be fixed. I can print the other. Let's see, there's 8 colors being used at any one time, 2 blacks, but only 8. One of them is being used, and I can print all 7 colors, print perfectly on the nozzle check, just no black. So that means that that valve is not allowing ink to enter the damper. Otherwise, you would see a few nozzles here and there, and not what I am seeing at this point. This coming week is extremely busy. I got to deal with this stupid stuff tomorrow. Then my wife has an appointment Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. We do Meals on Wheels. We go out and deliver food to elderly people. And then someone's going to have to do that for us pretty soon, I think. And Wednesday, we're going to the county fair. And we're going to look at animals and check out Richard Bender's photos that he has exhibiting there. I hope he got some ribbons. I'm sure that he got some first places. Barbara Harris, I still have one of your videos up that I hadn't finished watching. It now says video unavailable. Yeah, that's what it does. It's not that it's gone, it's just turned off. I think that's what they mean. I got to get to the YouTube chat, the help chat, which is something that you have to go through certain hoops to get to. And we'll see. It's a simple matter for them. They already disabled it. All they got to do is link it to a new account. Henry Stoffel, hello from warm and sunny Medford, Mass. Good luck with Google and YouTube. Epson P800 OEM inks and Qimage Ultimate. Too bad none of you guys work for YouTube. Oh well. The quality is much higher, but in which way? I can send you samples. Send me samples of sublimation. I don't know how you're going to do that. You mean prints? And I would need to have both, without with the driver, normal driver, or with the rip. I can show you what I have been producing, and you tell me if you can do better. Okay, that would be good. Didn't know you were an Amazon affiliate. I will order some paper today, and will use your affiliate link whenever I can. I would suggest, if you guys don't mind, just set it as your link for Amazon. It is Amazon.com/ and the Jose Rodriguez shop. Let me see if that's. Let me see again. I'm going to pop up over here. So all you got to do is this. I'm going to Control V, and there you go. So it is HTTPS, of course, www.amazon.com/shop/Jose Rodriguez. That's it. /shop/Jose Rodriguez. And if you have it correct, when you then do that, you will get to this Joe Toolman Printing Techie and this girl. And then you can just click on that, or click on the items and look at what I have, and then order. I got inks, I got everything here. Unfortunately, you don't get a discount. That's just benefiting the person with the affiliate link. And a lot of groups, especially church groups and other non-profit groups, use that affiliation with Amazon so that they can bring in some revenue for what they do. Okay. send it by mail. I am very weary about passing out my mail, my address. All right. We got 21 people. That's not too bad. Okay, so let me show you what I did, okay, for my friend. I'm always teasing you here, but okay, we'll do that last. Okay, so this is the paper. Okay, 12 by 12. I am going to be acquiring some frames similar to the one that I just showed you earlier. But this is using my Vivid Fine Art profile on the Strathmore linen paper. It's called acrylic. So it's really meant for you to paint on, probably. I know my grandson used this. Somehow the school had some of this, and he made a painting with it. And I was quite impressed by it. And I thought, wait a minute, what is that? Ooh, that is like a silk finish. Here you go. So this is my friend's friend's wife somewhere. They travel a lot. And he sent me 3 versions. One of them was sort of sepia with some very antique looking borders. If you go back to like the 1920s and you had your photo portrait taken at the studio, they would put these very ornamental looking borders, and everything would be sepia. So he sent me an example like that. I'm going to show you the examples in a second. And then this is the one with the highest contrast, which I thought would be the best to use on a paper that is not coated. This came out gorgeous. The detail is there. It's just crazy good. So when I get a frame, this is going to go on a frame, and I'm going to send it to you. You can give it to your friend. Now, my brother-in-law, my oldest brother-in-law, my wife's oldest sister, she's got her and then her baby sister still with us. The third, my wife is the third kid. So the second daughter passed away. That's Lisa. She lived in Milwaukee area. And yeah, very sad this year, unexpectedly, she passed away. I think she wanted to be with her husband, who passed away the year before. So almost right on the anniversary of his death. And so, but there's nothing really weird. Okay, she just laid in bed and died. Yeah. So we both, all of us, are fans of Disney World. And we always met there. And now they live in Northport, Florida, which is on the Gulf side of Florida, maybe a few miles south of Tampa. So we met and we sat together and we had our last picture taken together. And I did it. This is from my phone. This is the back. So you can see, very professional looking. And then here it is. And we're all sitting down. There's Joe, Janine, Lisa, Ken, Dennis, and Dulcie. So I think they're going to enjoy this. I've been doing some restoration work of photos of his family as well. We're going to be doing some of that today. But I want to show you something that I don't know whether it is what I think it is or not. And you guys can help me figure this out. But first of all, let's go ahead and print something with an image that I scanned and fixed. By the way, before I get going on that, my wife has been going through, scares me a little bit because all of a sudden she's going through all her books, all her photo books, and married to a photographer for 55 years this September. yeah, we generated a ton of pictures, but a lot of them are from her early teens in, you know, family, back before she met me. So, in Milwaukee. And so we've been going through all of these photos, and I was going through some of the ones that were pertaining more to me and my side of the family, and a long time ago. And I found a bunch of pictures. I scanned them. This is where I did my slideshow, called My Life. And then I found a small picture that I printed. I don't know whether I actually did. I think I did a big one. It was 35 millimeter, of my paternal grandmother. And she's a Spaniard from Mallorca, and she's very, very stoic and very reverent and very, uh, high. Let's just say, yeah, she didn't goof around. She didn't smile much. Um, we went to visit her when my second daughter, Janice, had just been born. She was just 6, 7 months old. And we all went to Puerto Rico, and we went to Ponce, which is the Pearl of the South, they call it, in the island. And Ponce de Leon, you know, the first governor of Puerto Rico, the guy that found the Fountain of Youth in Florida, you know him. So anyway, and there's my grandmother, my maternal grandmother, my mom's mom, my dad's mom, together with my new baby, Janice. And she smiled. She was looking at Janice and smiling. My other grandmother was just laughing. You know, she's the one that likes life was fun for her, but not my grandmother, Lucia. And so the photo that I took was just her sitting down, being very reverent. And well, you'll see what I'm talking about. We're going to open up Photoshop. And I think what we're going to do, this is going to be better on the 9x12 because the format fits that a lot better. Let that load. Let me get a drink. I'm looking at my phone here, making sure that everything is going through okay. And then when we get to the mystery photograph that I have right here, and I want to show you what that looks like, and you tell me if I am correct or not. We'll pop it over here. Let me tilt my monitor back a little bit, make it easier for me. I moved it over here because I'm going to be scanning that other photograph. Hopefully I can do that live and not have to get into any issues with memory or anything like that. So, okay, so let's get into this. This is it right here. So there she is. This is my grandma. Let me move these things over so I can make her a little bit more visible. And guess what? Last night I had that bar. And for the last several times that I have turned this on, I've always had the bar. It says to hide it. Hide it from where? It's not even there. Anyway, we don't care. We're not going to be doing anything relying on that. But I want to look at this, and you can see this is a scan from the print that I made, and I think it was an 11x14. I also have some little ones in that album that I thought there's no way I actually scanned that and came up with this. So you can see that perfil, we call it in Spanish, the profile. Yeah, very European. Look at that beautiful nose. So she's from Mallorca, which is an island to the east coast of Spain in the Mediterranean. My father's father is from Galicia, which is in the northern, just north of Portugal. So I don't know how they met, but anyway. So let's go ahead and apply that filter, that famous sharpening filter. But first of all, I'm going to crop the border, which I don't need at this point. I'm just going to give myself enough room, and then I'm just going to go like that and crop. And I should not have any black border anymore. Although, you know what? Yeah, the reason I don't want the border, you know what? I'm going to print it with a border. What the hell? I'm going to be using a border anyway in my 9x12. So there we go. Control J. Create a copy right here. This is already decolorized, but I'll do it anyway in case it thinks that it is a RGB, whatever. I don't know what it's actually doing to saturate. That is. Okay, so now filter, new, or other, high pass. And last night I was experimenting. You don't really see anything. I got it at 4.1. If you do this, really not that much. Here we go. Look at that. That's way too much. Way too much. We're going to go ahead and attempt. Let's just use 5.5. Okay, so now we're going to use the blending mode that will allow us to see those results. Linear light. Okay, so what do we have here? Let me zoom in. So I don't want to over accentuate her little wrinkles, her beautiful little wrinkles and moles, but this is before and after. And so I think it's quite amazing. And you know what? I think it really does enhance the way my beautiful grandmother looks. Yeah, we're going to leave it as that. I am going to maybe dodge this in a little bit here in the corner, this area here. The border's already black, so I don't care. So I'm going to reduce this left bracket. This is what I would do in the darkroom with my hand. I would just add more exposure to that portion of the print. And that's what Ansel Adams was a master at. All of these darkroom adjustments. Whoop. Come back over here, Grandma. Okay. So that, I think that's about it. And you know what? I kind of like the way that looks. I'm going to go ahead and save it. I'm not going to save it as. I'm going to save it. And it wants to save it as a Photoshop because it's got the 2 layers. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I am not going to flatten it. I want to be able to come back and maybe play with it a little bit longer. Okay, so now I'm going to just send it to QImage. So automate. When you buy QImage, make sure you order or pay for the export plugin, QImage Ultimate. Once that loads, I can go ahead and close off Photoshop. And it's going to load the image. I will go ahead and close. No, wrong one. Here we go. I dragged the wrong thing over. Gosh, hold on a second. Let me lower this down. Let me get her out of the way a second. I'm going to close off Photoshop. Bring myself back over here. Yeah, you got to work with 2 monitors, unfortunately. And here she is. Okay. So I am not going to do the 12x12 like I thought it was. That's going to be for some other photograph. So what we're going to do is enter 9x12. 9x12. And I want that 1/2 inch border. That's too big. We're going to do 0.5. Boom. And I think you can see her right there. Now it's already been sharpened. I'm not going to do anything to it. But obviously it's being cropped. And so I am going to undo the crop lock. And I am going to remove this. I don't really need a border because I already have a border on it. So there she is. Now, all I have to do now is get myself a sheet of paper. Come back to me. I'm going to be using this one here. And I got to get some more of that. I suppose I could use the Canson watercolor. That's also very good. By the way, whoever at the factory bound the 12 by 12 pack that I just got, they went a little overboard. Very difficult to remove. And earlier, I almost damaged the edge of one of the sheets. Okay, let's send this over to the printer. I'm going to use the full. Oh, by the way, let me check. Make sure. So 8550 Velvet Fine Art paper. That's what I'm using. And this is a Strathmore acrylic 400 patches. So this is my profile that I made. So I know that we're good to go. Let's check to see if the driver's color mode has been set to none. It has to be. Okay. We're not going to be using black and white mode in this case. I'm going to use that profile. You could use black and white mode and add a tone to it. That would be really nice. Advanced, no color adjustments. So we are all set to be printing with a profile on that paper. Okie doke. So now it's going to load. Almost 50%. And you got to give it a little bit of help. That's one thing that I have learned about this paper. It needs a little bit of help. So while that is loading, I'm going to go ahead and stand by. When the printer wakes up, I want to make sure that the front edge is grabbed. I don't want to push it through. I just want to help it. Okay. There you go. And there. Excellent. I was really worried about that because I didn't think it was going to be able to grab such a stiff paper, and it's very stiff. I don't know the thickness, but it is beautiful. I sprayed this with HALIMUN spray, 3 coats of it. It added a little tiny bit of almost, I would say, a little bit of gloss, but it's almost imperceptible. HALIMUN doesn't really change the surface very much, but it does increase those blacks, and it just opens up those shadows that would normally just become a bunch of different grays. It sort of enhances them, if you will. And so I think your friends are going to enjoy this. Probably this week I'll be receiving the new frames. Oh, Big dummy. Now, you've seen my little mini pictures, right? So I decided the ones that I made, basically like the one that I showed you in the frame earlier. Where did I put that? Right here. These are, landscapes. I have generated some farm country type scenes with barns and homes and that sort of thing. Also, the desert one, you saw the large one that I did. That's upstairs of the desert. So if I print them, not on sublimation material, but on that silk paper, then I can create little frames. Look at that. This will sell. These people are going to go nuts. We have the meeting this Saturday, so I'm gonna make a few more, and I'm gonna show them. So I went through different levels of, say, fanciness, if you want to call it that, where I added what would be found on an antique frame, and this one here, you can see the corners. See the paper is old, and this is really old paper. It's leftover paper from like a 60-year-old album, photo album. See the corners? That is very, very, very thin veneer that you would apply on the corners, and then 2 nails to keep that miter from spreading. And it just simply says in pencil, rainy Parisian night, AI generated, JFR, August 2025. Well, let me turn that on. Look how beautiful it came out. And yes, varnished, because this is a painting, and paintings are usually varnished. Oh, and look in the back. I have a piece of wire that you would hang that from. That way, the person who is going to install this in their miniature room is not going to glue it to the wall, because this is important too. This you would show to someone, and that makes it look like a real painting, just brought down in size. This one here has the little corners as well. I just don't have any wire. I only have a little bit of it. And then I made a bigger one, super fancy back. And I have the documentation label there. Again, the same 2 corners guarding the miter. And then in the front, what do you guys think? This looks like the real deal, just miniaturized. This would go for, no kidding, maybe $35, $40. And then these would go for like $25 each. And I'm going to show that to them this weekend. And Grandma is emerging slowly. This is using RPM mode, which is very slow. It's using 2880 dots per inch. And if you look at this and it says, I think it's a little bit too dark. I'm looking at this one here. Yeah, that's a little bit too dark also. These look pretty much the same. So I would print that a bit lighter. And I would rather adjust that in Photoshop. But the idea is that with a nice border like this, it looks matted. And color also works really well for this paper. We'll do a 12 by 12 in a second here. Let me go ahead and I'm going to close that, come back to me, and I'll reopen Photoshop. So I want to make grandma a little bit brighter. This has to be done maybe full stop brighter. Yeah, she's a little bit too dark. And as I always say, you know me, so I am going to get rid of this. Here we go. We'll reopen grandma. Don't freak out, but I just tore this. And I am running out of this pretty quickly. Somebody found, I need to go back because I think I originally got this from a like an on sale table. Many things were on sale when I went. And so I don't know what I actually paid for it. And I think I should be able to pay less for this than the price on Amazon. Okay, so let's do grandma once again. I'm going to take a look at the histogram here in a second here. Let me load the histogram. Yeah, you can see immediately. You look at that. Yeah, we need to bring some of these tones up. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to use let me see. Not brightness. I'm going to use where is it at? Levels. Okay, so here we go. So I can tell immediately that yeah, there are some issues there. So I'm going to bring the middle tones up. I have a highlight, but I think it's just a specular highlight. You can see it. Oh, wait a minute. You can't see this. Here we go. Okay. So I have a highlight there, but that's like a specular highlight. So I'm going to bring this down like that. So that's going to be the cutoff right here, whatever that tone is. If you take a look closely, I don't know whether you can see it. You see there's detail and it's plateauing down and then it sort of stops there. So that's going to create a new white point. The highlight must have been something here maybe. Not sure. So I'm going to take this and bring it up. There you go. Now she looks more like herself. There you go. As long as I still have a white point and a black point. Here we go. I think that looks pretty well. Pretty good. So now is this the one that we did? No, I don't think it is. Oh, gee. I'm going to save it anyway because I know the one we have to open up is the PDF. So we have to find it. It should be the PDF. Right here. So this is the one that has both. Yeah. Yeah, you can see. I do have a white point, but I am going to go ahead and increase the, let me get into image adjustment and levels. Okay, so look at the difference here. So this is the actual, let me go ahead and that's the actual layer. We don't want to deal with that. I'm going to go ahead and merge them together. And then merge, flatten, whatever. Okay, now we have levels. Okay, this is much better. So there's my specular highlight. We bring in the shadows a little bit. And that's it. You see what it's doing to the image? Yeah, that's much better. Much better. So we can print this. Now I'm going to use QImage. You know me, I always use QImage. So, because everything's already set up. Come on. I'm going to save everything. I'm satisfied with it. So here's the previous one, and here's the new one. Yeah, you can see the big difference right here. So there. And I could adjust that even more here. I can double click on it. Bring that over there. I can do my favorite little exposure adjustment. And maybe brightness a little bit. There we go. Fill down a little bit. This will fill in the, make the shadows a little bit darker. I don't want them too light. Okay, that's good. And again, I'm just doing this real quick here. Let that reload, and we'll go ahead and print that. And I threw the other one away. I didn't want to even deal with it. I still have a look at her face. Now this paper absorbs a lot of ink, okay? And you will immediately feel the wetness of the print when it emerges. $99, $100. I'm amazed that the printer hasn't said, you know, I'm not printing this thick paper. Come on, what are you doing? What do you think I am? I'm just glad that that does not happen yet. It has not happened. So go ahead and close Photoshop. Release some of those, some of that memory. So here it is. This is her dark version, and you can see this looks neutral here, but on camera it has a bit of a tint to it. This is the shadow. This will get varnished and improve quite a lot. Now I have, like I said, a sheet of this already removed. We'll do one of those landscapes, but not yet. Let that load up. So we have done my grandma. We talked about my hacking. We tried we did my latest gift aluminum print, and I showed you my paintings. Now these other ones here, these larger ones are the ones that are going to be framed the way I showed you earlier with the fancier frames. So that's going to take a bit of time, a lot of work. So you can see how many I have here. So I'm going to probably have to buy more miniature molding. So this is going to be one of them. All of these are going to be framed. I'm doing things that would be found in a home, say 1930s, 1940s, even 1920s, which is usually the period that most miniaturists use when they are creating rooms. Excuse me. The 2x2s, again, I have the metal ones. So for metal, I don't want to use something pastoral looking. It just does. I want to use something modern. So this painting, for instance, the one that I love, I've already done it in many different medias. That one. That's just going to get an attached back to it, and that's it. So this looks more modern. This is something today, or even 30 years ago, whatever, but it still does not look period. Here she is again. So these are going to go really well. I think these are going to be very popular. I need to get all of these done by Saturday. The larger ones and the smaller 2x2s made on the linen paper, they have to be finished this way. Okay. This one I went a little overboard with the hanging wire and all of that, but I'll just have to hit the store. They have all the wire that I would need, and then for the larger ones, I need to go fancier. So this will have the more fancy back. All kinds of, in other words, helping the canvas stay together. That's just what you would do in a real frame that you would. Okay, so this is almost done. She looks much better, definitely. And there she is. There you go. Much better. There's my grandma. Okay. So this will get sprayed. I'm looking at, yeah. You know, it's funny. I could actually see each hair on the back of her area here. That's amazing. And the spray will only affect the dark area. So it's really selectively darkening areas, not, the whole thing becoming darker. Okay. So that's just going to be for me, for my memories. Okay. Let's put this back. Now I have to start all over again here with QImage. We're going to do a 12 by 12. One of those photos that I AI generated. Okay, but I'm going to open up the browser and search the desktop. Oh, wait a minute, not Photoshop. I need QImage open. There we go. Meanwhile, okay, let's see. We have some people here. Let me open up the browser. Open. Desktop. Wait 1 second. That's weird. Open file. Desktop. Here we go. How about this one? And I'm going to have to crop it because we're going to do a 12 by 12. So let's go ahead and get 12 by 12 loaded. So again, you simply go here and 12 by 12. And then just, I always add my border. In this case, we do it 0.75 quarter inch. I mean 3/4 of an inch. And I add that picture. And I don't want to, if I do this, if I do that, I'm going to get the whole thing. But I'm going to crop it. So I'm going to go ahead and do a crop. And I'm going to call it a 12 by 12. And I'm going to just grab the upper corner and bring down. Wait a minute. I can't see that. Here we go. I can't see it. I'm blind. Crop lock. Here we go. If Mike was here, he'd be yelling at me. Okay. I give up. Let me try again. Yeah, 12 by 12. I usually don't use this type of setting. Here we go. Here we go. So I'm getting a square lock. No, I'm not. Why am I not? Oh, I am. Okay, so I can move this. I don't want to lose the sun though. Yeah, this is not a good picture for that. Maybe I'm going to just give up on that and just print the whole thing. We will not be doing a 12 by 12. We'll be doing something like, oh, that's not too horrible. Yeah, that's not too bad. And we'll do it with the classical wider border at the bottom, like so. I want to make sure that this is not going to print too dark. Remember, your results are always going to be slightly darker than your monitor on that paper. And I try to adjust that simply by, no, I don't want any sharpening, by adding some brightness here. And seems to work. There we go. Okay, that's fine. If I unlock the crop, I can possibly get more of the sun. It's just simply not going to be as rectangular. There we go, like that. And we'll just end up with a different border situation. Yeah, see what I mean? So fine, that's gonna work. That's fine. We'll go ahead and do that. Okay, so we just let it load. I'm just curious to see how this type of image is going to be displayed on that paper, that type of paper. As you can see here, this is all with that same type of paper. And I'm looking for something that has an interesting, say, texture. Where when I spray this with the gloss or the semi-gloss coating, which will be equivalent to a varnish, it's going to enhance it and give it that canvas, varnish canvas look, which would be the normal thing. Wow, it almost didn't want to bend. I thought for a minute there it was going to reject it. Okay, while that is printing, I am going to share this with you and you guys tell me. So here is a picture of Janine's father. Now this has to be, he looks maybe late teens. He's German, Schreiber. And this is just one of many, I mean, hundreds of pictures. I just chose that one because I did that classroom picture you saw the other day, last week. And in there somewhere is his father, her father. And I didn't know which one was his father. I thought we were looking for her mother. Now, is this a tin type? It's metal. And I want to know what this will do if I scan it. And I'm not going to decolorize it. I'm going to leave it as is, but I'm just going to increase the contrast and just make it, add a little bit more clarity to it. I don't know. Might as well try. think I'm done with Q image. I can turn it off at this point. And here we go. We have the scanner software up. I'm going to do a preview. We'll see what we get. So I'm scanning at 24-bit color, 600 ppi. Oh, look at that. Yikes. Okay. There we go. I did an auto correction, and that's what we got. I'm going to bring in the crop. This is not perfectly rectangular. You know what, folks? I might just print this on aluminum. Why not, right? Okay. Oh, my wife is going to freak out when she sees this. Here we go. Sorry, you didn't see that. But originally it looked very dark. And I don't want to remove the color. I want to leave it the way it was. I'm going to remove color restoration. Whoop, sorry. I'm going to remove color restoration. Okay, so that's the way it looks without any kind of a color fix, if you will. I always go beyond black a little bit. I don't want to completely make black fall off. Okay, so that's quite a difference between the previous one and the new one. All right, so I think I'm happy with that at this point. Close and scan. We're going to scan it, like I said, 24-bit color and 600 ppi. This is printing beautifully here. You guys are going to love this. Holy cow. So I think for color, this paper is going to be excelling above anything. Okay, so I keep getting the pop-ups on this screen. So we're going to go to the desktop, and prefix is going to be Joe. And it'll begin to scan. Meanwhile, wow, holy cow. So yeah, I think I can handle the upper and lower borders. It's not an issue. Look at that. 8550, color mode, VFA, and my profile on the Strathmore acrylic linen paper. So it doesn't really, it says linen about that big on it. It'll say acrylic. That's what it says. The beautiful colors are just intense as hell. Look at that. Gorgeous. All right, this is done scanning. So we'll just go ahead and close. And I'm going to come back to me. And I'm going to open up that scan. I'm going to add this one over father. Scan it while we are getting ready to edit what we can out of this thing. Okay. And let's see. Scan again. I'm going to be using the same settings anyway, 24-bit and 600 ppi. But in this case, I'm going to add, I wanted to remove some scratches if it can, and color restoration. Now, this is not something that was a half tone, so I don't have to use this greening. So dust removal, yes. And that's it. I'm going to go ahead and scan, preview. I want to bring it in beyond the borders. I'll crop it later in Photoshop. You can see immediately how amazing the results are. Okay, that's good. Let me check the, yeah, drag that out a bit. Beyond black and above white. I'll deal with the adjustments inside Photoshop. I don't want the printer to the scanner to do them for me. And close, and then scan. And it's going to go to my desktop. Boom. Okay. Let that finish. I'll crop it a lot better later. Okay, doke. Let's open up Photoshop. Meanwhile, let's see what we got here. I'm going to go to open. We'll take a look at that a little bit later. So we have two things to open, this one and that one. Feslope says Red River Trinity Velvet paper needs a little help starting in the printer too. Yeah, I think they're very common, but at least that one is going to be coated for inkjet printing. It's just that 10 sheets of the 9x12 is like less than $10. And I think somebody got 3 packs for like $10, $15. So I can live, if I can live with this result and just simply spraying it will bring back what a coating would look like, sort of. I'm not too concerned. Yeah, see that I got a little bit of that glue from the binding. It's very difficult to unstick one of these sheets off of that book. I hope it was just that particular batch and not something that's going to happen constantly. Okay. Harold Davis, impressive print of Mark's wife. They are hiking through the Dolomites, Italy last month. They'll be thrilled. Good. I'm glad. Salve 477 says hi. Again, he says hi. Thank you and happy to hear you back. Well, sort of. We need you. I hope you do, because otherwise, yeah, what would I do, right? $11,000 is really old, but there is not yet compatibility ink developed until now, and I should wait. So I found a German company that which sells ink. I don't know what that you meant. 11,000 or the 1100? The same ink, and they sell it to. They sell to the problem for the same ink that they sell. Wait a minute. So I found a German company which they sell ink, the same ink that they sell to the Problem 4 ink. I'm not sure what you're trying to say, Leah. But anyway, okay, so here is Janine's daddy. Let me go here. Yeah, he's got to be almost 20 right there, maybe a little older. Okay, so let's take a look at the image and adjustments and levels. So I can bring that to there, bring that to there, and then maybe like that. Let me shrink it down. If I do auto, it's going to do that, and I don't want that. I want to be able to, I don't want a white, like a pure white. I want some sort of tonality, even on the highest highlights. There's something odd with his face right there. It might be a scratch on the print. But yeah, maybe a shadow. I think it's a shadow. Because we're using the same channel that my wife watches her videos on. I just got a notification about her video. Okay, so that looks a lot better than this. I'm going to go ahead and crop it. We don't need, and that's what happened, you know, in the old days. People would crop. I often would see a group of people, and the heads would be right about the midpoint, and all of this wasted space. And that's just the way people used to shoot, especially using a box camera. So I'm going to remove that. I'm going to go ahead and straighten it out. I don't need to see this, so I'm going to crop that off right about like that. Bring this down a tiny bit. Like that. Yeah, I don't want to have that. You see this right here? I don't want to see that. So right about like that. Good. So now I would go through and play around with any of the little spots that I see. These little spots right here can come off with the tool. Watch this spot removing tool. Just click on it and it's gone. Gone. Now this is all on the paper itself. When you got something that is right on top of two, right there, you can see pixels already. I'm just going to do that. And that did not work. So I got to go back. That's a little bit better. Here, here, here. Nobody will know what that was. Now, here it's just fading right there. So you would use the dodge and then make sure that you have shadows on. Enlarge it. Sometimes Photoshop's been giving me grief with the tools not showing up at the correct size. Yeah. Here we go. So I'm going to go over that area and it's just going to affect the dark tones. Now it sort of matches the rest of the shutter. There we go. Now on his face, yeah, that's a shadow. I'm not going to worry about that. Use the repair tool. Too big. Why isn't this working? Repair. Come on. Repair tool. What the heck? You have to do it when I'm working, huh? Jeez. So that's the band-aid. And it's supposed to, there you go. Jeez. What you give me a hard time for? And all of these little tiny things you can just remove. Do as much or as little as you wish. And let's see if we can sharpen him up. Can we? He doesn't look very sharp to me. I'll go ahead and Control J. I'm going to desaturate, and then we're going to filter other high pass. We're going to do pretty high. We're going to go like 10 and see, just see what happens. Okay. Too much, obviously. So, yeah, sometimes it just gets overdone, but you could see, I mean, the dramatic difference. That's way overdone. So let's see. I can't see what I'm doing here. Layers. Come on. Layers. Linear. Normal. I'm just going to have to make it a lot less. Like maybe like that. And then we'll see if we get a little better. Yeah, that's much better. Much better. So this is without. Yeah, this is a lot better. So huge improvement over that original photo. All right, I'm going to save this as a PDF. And I'm going to call it Janine, Janine, Dad. We'll close that or go directly to the other image. Yeah, this bad boy right here. So, oh boy, look at this. But it's amazing. See that I picked up every bit of stuff. But let's go ahead and see what we can adjust here. And because it's an RGB, I can adjust the colors. I can go here. So for instance, blue, remove some of that yellow. You see that? But I like the yellow. In fact, I want to make it a bit more. And I'm going to add, before it starts turning green, I'm going to add a little bit of red. Right about like that. Not too much. Right about like that. Okay. Okay, these areas that, because if this was a real, what did I call it, tintype? Or whatever it might be. What do you guys think this is? Come on, some of you guys know about these old processes. What do you guys think this is? So I'm going to use mid-tones, bring those tones down. Oh, no, I don't want you. What do you guys think? To me, it looks like one of those old tintypes. In the back, there is no indication of date or any sort of data that would make us or tell us, you know, what period this was made. So I'm going to darken all the dark tones. Notice how the ornamentation here of this, whatever this is becoming more clearer. A lot clearer, not more clear. I got to practice my English grammar. You know what? I don't think I want to get rid of all of this defects. I think this cannot be made to look like a perfect print. Like so. Well, I mean, I could remove a couple of little things here and there. Like one thing that you can do that's really interesting is you can just brush across a line, a scratch, and make it go away. Right now, of course, AI can do that, but this goes back quite a bit in Photoshop. We used to be able to do this. And I would just remove the major ones. I don't want to click and then drag across. Let's look at the face and see if there's anything we should remove. Yeah, there is. We'll at least fix the faces. We'll ignore the other non-important areas. There's a lot. Wow. There's no way I'm going to sharpen this because can you imagine if I enhance all of these little defects even more? What this will end up looking like? We don't want to do that. We'll get these two girls fixed up nicely. You can do maybe, I don't know, 10,000 clicks and make it all beautiful. But I think even when these types of prints were created and emulsions had to be literally poured onto these metal plates, nothing was ever perfect. There was always going to be some imperfections. In Gettysburg, there was the son of a teacher, one of my wife's friends in school. He had a photographic shop. It's in the middle of town in Gettysburg, where he produces this type of thing. He will take your picture in full 1860s uniform or garb or whatever, like we do. My wife and I do that. And then he would print it. Again, he uses a real camera from the era, and he pours his own plates and everything. Coats, I should say. All right. Okay, that's enough. Yeah, we'll just leave everything. I'm going to darken this area a little bit here in the corner. Okay, okay. Shadows. I'm holding down my mouse button and just dragging my cursor over the area. That's what this circle becomes my hand, like this, letting light from the enlarger pass through. And yeah, how long would that take? It took a long time to get the results that you want. And many prints. All right. No layers on this one. I'm just going to do Control S and save it. That was a, what you call it? A JPEG. Turn on my press. Let me get a sheet of sublimation paper. Actually, I think I have some already loaded here. Oh, by the way, got my 4200 working perfectly. It needed a couple of deep cleans. Oh, there goes my air conditioner. I guess it's getting hot. All right, we'll go ahead and send this to QImage. So automate QImage Ultimate. And now we can close. And here we are. So we have to do a couple of things. I'm going to change the printer to the 4200. I'm going to change my paper size, 8.5 by 11. And I am going to print this at 5 by 7. And I'm going to load this twice. Now let me see. I don't think I cropped it. I don't know what the format was originally, but I didn't do any cropping to it. So I'm going to do a little bit of cropping. So this is going to be 5 by 7. And let's see, I'm going to increase brightness a little bit. I don't want it to print too dark. Oh, there's a big blob right there. I should have fixed. Give it a value of 5 or 6 brightness. Here we go. That's good. Are they both the same brightness? Yeah. Let me check the top one. Yep. Yep. And we'll print it. Now I need to check presentation paper matte. Yes. And my sublimation profile. And of course I know that the printer's color management is turned off so that it's not interfering with this. And I don't want to brighten it that much, but clearly I want it a little bit brighter than this. This is, wow, amazing. Let that load. Yeah, I don't want it to make it look super bright like a real photograph would look, I want it to have that tin type atmosphere because I'm going to print it on aluminum anyway. So, and I need to find, I have, oh gosh, let me see. Should I just do, no, I have some paper, some media that is the proper size. Yeah, right here. I'm glad that I still have this. It's a little bit bigger than I thought, but we'll go ahead and trim it later. No biggie. Just want to figure out how to take this off. They don't make it easier. A razor blade. I should have measured this first and then made a custom size. We'll just go ahead and trim it. This is kind of a glittery surface material. I don't know how that's going to look when you're attempting to create a tin type or whatever this is. Whatever this really is. We'll give it a try. Where is the end of this? What a great invention this stuff is. I'm telling you this. I don't want to use a razor blade because I might scratch the backs or the fronts. I do not want to do that. So, seeing that this is a little bit bigger, I think this is like 6 by 8. I'm just going to go ahead and fit it and then trim it. These seem to be, wow, okay. There's two stuck together here. I was going to say this seems to be a little bit thicker than the other material. So it might be a bit thicker, which is good. Okay, I'm going to save this because I'm packing stuff for my brother-in-law. This will definitely help. Oh, I forgot to put the rest of this stuff on top here. Okay. These I'm going to do off camera a bit later. Those are for my friend. Those will be coming your way possibly this coming week. Depends on our schedule and how crazy it gets this week. I gotta also ship this to my daughter. She fell in love with it. Send that to her. We are at 307. This is done. Here's the results. I'm going to go ahead and trim one of these off. Like so. Put this aside. Warm this up. Peel off the protective coating. And again, I need to measure this. I should have done that and I should have made it that size. But it's okay. I just want to see what that's going to look like when we make it. Okay, so this is not quite 6 inches, a little bit short. This is always metric, so it'll be 6 by 8. It's close. Yeah, it'll be 6 by 8-ish. Okay, so if you make the image 6 by 8, it will bleed. It will bleed. It will have the correct amount of bleed. So automatically. So that's good. Now I know. I had never used that. When you buy this stuff, you know it's made overseas, so it's always going to be metric and approximately so many inches by so many inches. It's never going to be an accurate so-called English measurement. Okay, so we did the miniatures. You saw that. And I'm going to show you something that may blow your mind. So, I make miniatures. Before I got started doing that, oh no, actually I did the furniture first. Then, I don't know what I was watching on the age where YouTube became popular. I think my YouTube channel, the regular YouTube channel I had, actually the one that I need to have restored, I started it in 2009. So the earliest thing that I have is me testing a little, one of those little GoPro style cameras outside. That was 2009. So, this is the early YouTube era. And it was a wild, wild west. No controls. People were posting anything. So I got hooked into micro machining. So that means instead of using big gigantic lathes, you use small lathes. I said, well, I want to make steam engine. And I wanted to make a big one about this big, power it with a, make a little furnace and, with alcohol and create steam and pressurize it via little copper pipes. Then I decided to make a little one. This is all from scratch. It's got the intake valve here, actually right here. The piston. Actually, no, this is the inlet valve and the piston. So everything is timed perfectly. Now, then I had a little screw-in incline power air line, and I could run it from air. So I decided to make a little mouthpiece to see if I could run this. And sometimes you got to add a little WD-40. And I turn kind of blue and get dizzy at the same time. But this is a miniature, okay? And I made this and I put this on a show and everybody went bonkers. And again, the material I got from the scrapyard, our local county scrapyard. But I do have in the other room mini lathes, metal lathes, milling machines, all that sort of thing, little mini drill presses, all the little mini tools that I need to make miniature metal operating items. You think I would be able to fix a printer, but no, that's beyond my skill level. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and warm this up. It's at 253. Good. Let's see how this fits. No, it does not. So now we know it does not fit. I'm going to go ahead and attach it. In fact, it's a little bit too long. I just want to see what my wife will say when she sees this. She doesn't really show emotions. So I get upset and she doesn't go overboard. Something I made. Look, honey, look what I made. Oh, really? Oh, that's nice. Yeah. It's her German side. The German. We Spaniards are, touchy, hugging, crying. We cry, we smile, we laugh. Not her family. Although her mother was English, Cornish. Seven seconds. Okay, that's good enough. And then we'll get my trimmer. We're done with the scanner. So I can put my monitor back in its correct location. That way we can use my trimmer, because we're going to be trimming off parts of that aluminum print. Now for this, you would simply take these blanks, lay them on top. Everything has been measured correctly, correct amount of bleed, and tape each individual one on top of each one of those. And then cook the whole thing at once. If you had a large enough press, you can make larger sheets and create more at one time, more of these in one sitting. Okay, Grandma, I'm going to put you over here. Get everything together. 12, 10. Okay, here we go. That's pretty nice. Indeed. Forgot to take some of that plastic off of it. Now I'm going to trim this. I don't know whether I want to trim it with a border. This doesn't look bad with a border, but it's not perfectly straight. Look at how well that transferred. Let me see if I want to go that route. Yeah, I'm going to trim it off. We just fell. And my emery board, go over those sharp edges. When you shear metal like this, it's going to create a burr that, believe me, you don't want to touch or run your hand on it. Yeah, I would not use this glittery type finish on another one of these. I would use the normal smooth one without any kind of a, I don't know why they do that. They do the same thing on the material for the business cards. It looks glittery. You can see it on the surface before you even begin to okay. So let's look at the original. Okay, that's what fell. Come back over here. There we go. Yeah, I think you can tell a little bit easier who these two young ladies are. So, and I don't mind the defects because that's part of just part of the whole thing when it comes to this type of work. Did I leave my print there? What did I do with my wife's dad's picture? Shoot. You better not lose that. Yeah, I took it out. Where did I put it? I thought I put it back in the envelope. Oh, wow. I will find it. Not here. Oh, on the floor. This room is dark. Anyway, here's, I don't know what this was. Something else that was in that envelope. I'm going to print her a 5x7 or whatever size I can make it fit of her dad. Take it upstairs. And let me see, do I have paper here? I'm not going to use the Strathmore for sure, or the other paper. Maybe I'll use some of this glossy paper that I have here somewhere. Nope. Like that. Too much stuff here, ladies and gentlemen. Too much stuff. Here we go. So I'm not going to bother with cutting down, 5x7. I'm just going to go ahead and do two prints. I'm going to do that one as well as her dad's in Q image. And we'll just make two-ish 5x7s. Sort of. So let me go here to my 8550. Load that one. No, that's not what we want. We want 5x7. Let me see. We don't need 8x10x12 either. We need to go back. So it remembers whatever I did last. Okay. That's what it's doing. 5x7. Okay. And then I got to locate that other photograph. Let's see. I'll just drag it over there. Okay, like so. We'll go ahead and print it as is. We're going to use probably premium photo paper, glossy, and let the driver control color. We'll just use the driver color mode. That's it. Driver's going to link it to the profile for that paper, because I told the driver to use, I told the driver, hey, you have full control. It should be set to ICM. So let's go ahead and take a look at it to make sure. And I will show you. Instead of being none, remember before it was none, it should be set to ICM. ICM. This is why I like QImage, folks. I don't have to even think. Let me see if this needs any kind of adjustment. Yeah, I mean, I need to work on this a little bit more, but at this point, I think we're good to go. Like, I would have to dodge and burn a lot of areas. But again, I'm not trying to do a museum reconstruction here. Just something for my wife to enjoy. That's a bit better than the original, if you get my drift. So that's going to load. And that's going to be it. After this, we're going to call it a day. We did 2.5 hours. That's not bad. Then I'm going to go ahead and look to see what it looks like on this channel. I'm going to play portions of it back. It's not monetized, so there's not going to be any ads or anything like that. You can go back and look at it afterwards and jump around as much as you would like. It doesn't matter. Who are you? Why do you keep doing that? You're making yourself look suspicious. Okay, so now that is done. So I can go ahead and close you. Come back to me. All right. So these are the early versions that I did for my friend. And I told him that, because it's coated on both sides, that if he wished, I could just put something in the back like this, just color. See that? Everyone is different. He said, no, leave it blank. And so I would do just one surface there. The reason is that if you print one side and then you flip them over and print the other side, you're exposing that already sublimated side back to another cycle of heat, and it could affect it. So rather than have something adverse happen, I told him to, like this one was printed on both sides. Now, if he wants that, I could do that. It's just that I cannot guarantee if one side will become affected. I don't think I see any kind of defect, so maybe I will go that way. Maybe I will go that way. Okay, we'll see. So each side will have the same thing, just a different photograph. Same website, same everything. So this is on Staples glossy paper coming out. I'm curious whether the black and white of her dad is going to end up being neutral. Who knows? At this point, I'm not really that sure. That is loading up. I'm going to prep my outro here while we are waiting for that. And the next video, I think we are done. Let's have a look. Oh, that didn't turn out bad. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Very good. Huh. What a difference. Quite a difference. So, if I was to do every single print that needs to be scanned and saved, some of the black and whites that I have, if you view them a certain way, they become a positive because the black areas are become silvery. They have lost their tarnish. So this is not quite at that point yet, but it could happen. And yes, some of them are pretty good. So that's quite an improvement. And definitely this is a huge improvement. Let's compare it to the metal one. There's some difference. Of course, this is not a custom profile. Okay. Oh, I know why this came out. This bag has a hole in it. Yikes, no wonder. No wonder. This needs a new bag. Or put it back in an album. That's why it had tape on it. Yeah, I better tape it back up. Like so. All right, folks, so I am going to keep everybody informed. I'm afraid what's going to actually happen is that I'm just going to create a new channel and start uploading from now on. Had I been spending $60 a month on StreamYard, all my live streams would have been recorded and I would be able to download them. They would have been recorded at on their end and saved. But $60 a month, at this point, that would have been several $1,000s that I would have spent. Yes, I can deduct it from my, taxes, whatever. But yeah, but I got to think about that. At least everything that I create that gets uploaded gets saved in a hard drive. So those I always can recover, but not the live streams. But hopefully, if I can get on a chat with YouTube support, what I will do is just create a new Google account, set it to my computer. That way I'll be able to link the disabled current account that I have, my regular account, to that new Google account. That should work. And I hope these guys get caught and punished, but apparently they don't. They're able to do this over and over again. And they get away with it. The last time he didn't quite get away with it, but because they deducted the money that he had generated from posting his garbage on my video channel. Okay, so that's going to be it. Again, thank you so much for your patience here. It was only 20 some odd people here. Hopefully by next week we'll be ready. If not, I'll just continue like we did this week. Again, this channel basically is not earning a penny, so it doesn't really matter. I just want to reach out. I want to be able to extend um, my reach to more and more people. That way, and I don't know exactly what the Leah Lee was trying to say. She never did reply back. All right, so that's going to be it for now. Thank you so much. Wish me luck. I will keep you guys informed next week. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like always. Even though this channel is not the real channel, push it. Join my Facebook group if you want to join a community of over 9,000 people now that we eat, breathe, and sleep printing. Okay, that's all we do. All right, we'll see you the next time. Bye bye.